So here we have something quite interesting. It is the Beelink M1. Now this is a Windows 10 TV box, but it features 6 gigabytes of internal RAM. And that's quite a bit more than what we're normally used to. We're normally used to maybe 2 or 4 gigabytes at most. And yeah, so this has 6 gigabytes, as well as that it features the Intel Apollo Lake processor, I believe it is. And yeah, so this could be quite interesting. It also has quite a decent set of connectivity. We've got a VGA port on the side, we've got HDMI, we've got the one USB 3.0 on this side as well, and we've got another 2 USB 3.0s on this side, as well as a SD card slot. As well as that, we've got an Ethernet port and the power supply, the power button, and a audio 3.5mm jack. So yeah, it's actually quite a nice looking piece of kit as well. So I'll be quite interested to see how well this performs compared to, say, the another Windows 10 TV box. I mean, we looked at the Azul Byte 3 just the other day. That was a really good machine. That only had 4 gigabytes. This has 4 gigabytes of RAM. This as well has 64 gigabytes of internal storage, which is, well, it's not a lot really for a Windows 10 box, but it's a lot more than what we're normally used to on other devices. So anyway, let's have a look at this. Let's turn it on. Let's see what it can do. So diving straight into the Beelink M1, I'm pretty disappointed. It took absolutely forever just to set this damn thing up. Once you've got into Windows 10, the system just wants to update everything, and I mean everything. You want to update all your drivers with Intyel. You get Microsoft stores wanting to update all the crappy apps on there, and that's to be expected, but things just took forever to do. Now, moving quickly on, the actual system itself, performance, it's alright. It's not great. It's a bit slow. It's a bit sluggish when loading up web pages. Loading up YouTube, for example, just took forever. Once loaded up, it was fine. Everything run nice and smooth. It just seemed not to be very snappy or not very lively when you wanted it to do things. Now, gameplay on this, you should expect just basic, very basic games. Emulation, it kind of struggled a little bit. I'm not sure whether it was just the actual setup I've got or I'd set up at the moment, and yeah, things are just really slow. PlayStation 1 emulation was a bit rubbish. Now, other emulation like Nintendo and so on should be fine, but like more graphically intensive systems, you might struggle with this. I'm not entirely sure why. This chipset should be more than capable. It's probably just the actual setup of itself that's holding it back. Now, moving on to the likes of proper games. Well, I say proper games, stuff like off the Microsoft Store, you know, Asphalt 9 and so on. They took forever to load up, and I would expect you'd be having to keep it on the lowest setting. I did try it before. It's a bit hit and miss. Some levels were fine, some levels weren't. It was a bit glitchy, it was a bit slow, crashed a bit. So overall, I'm really not impressed by this device. It seems like it wants to be what it should be, but it's not quite there. Probably a firmware issue. Beelink need to get on that and fix it. So overall, a bit disappointed by this. That extra couple of gigs of RAM should have made all the difference. It just hasn't. They've just not utilized it properly. Although it's got good connectivity, it looks good as well. It's a great looking device. I really must admit, it does look fantastic. It's well designed in terms of its aesthetic appeal, but its performance, it's just lackluster. It just seems a bit half-assed, and yeah, very disappointed. But anyway, you guys who are interested in something like this, a Windows 10 device to replace an Android box, I urge you to go and check out the Byte 3. We done the review on that just a few weeks ago. That's a great little box, and it's a bit more expensive than this, of course, but you certainly get what you pay for when it comes to this sort of thing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, gave you a bit of an insight into what to expect from a device like the Beelink M1. The Beelink S2, probably should have mentioned this before, is a much better device, and we've reviewed this in the past, and it was so much better than this box. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we shall see you very soon.